my name's Karen Williams. I'm the lead instructor for the Colorado Mountain Club's Youth Education Program, and today we're going to be doing an experiment about how dinosaur fossils and other fossils are created. So let's get started. Alright, so for this yummy sediment experiment, here's what you will need. You will need some blue pudding or jello in a clear container. You'll need some sort of a gummy candy. I've got sour worms today. You will need some cookie crumbs. And then you'll need two different colors of pudding. For me, I've got a vanilla pudding, kind of a whitish pudding, and then some chocolate pudding, which is brown pudding. But you can use whatever colors or flavors you want. Just make sure that they are different colors so you can tell between them when we're doing our experiment. Alright, so before we get started on our experiment, let's talk a little bit about why we might want to know about fossils and what fossils really are. So fossils are basically the preserved remains of an animal or a plant from a really long time ago. So the process of a fossil being created takes a very, very long time, like millions of years. And it's important to learn from fossils because when we find a fossil of a plant or an animal that was alive a long time ago, we can learn about what life was like way, way long ago. And we can learn about the creatures that lived during those times. So being able to find fossils is a really, really awesome thing that people that are called paleontologists, those are people that study fossils, they get to discover fossils and learn about them so that people like you and I can learn about animals that are really cool, like dinosaurs. Alright, so let's learn about how fossils are created. Imagine that you're living millions of years ago and there's a really, really giant dinosaur that's just roaming the earth. And how does that dinosaur turn into a fossil that looks just like a stone? So let's figure that out. So to start our experiment, we're gonna have our blue jello or pudding just like this at the bottom of a clear container. We wanna make sure we can see our layers. So make sure your container is clear, it's big enough that you have some space to work. All right, so in our blue pudding, let's imagine again that we're back millions and millions of years ago when there was dinosaurs on the earth. And this is an ancient riverbed. So this blue pudding is our ancient river. And we've got some dinosaurs, our little gummy animals. And they are walking along the river, just like this. Got some gummy animals. Put them on the side so that you can make sure and see where your gummy animals are. And at some point, these animals might die or they may get trapped in the river. So we've got our giant dinosaur remains there in our ancient riverbed, just like this. And over time, the fleshy part of the animal is gonna decay or maybe get eaten, but our bones are really, really strong and they're gonna stay in our riverbed. And to preserve them, what's gonna happen is some sediment, some rocks and mud and things like this are gonna come and cover our dinosaurs up. So now we'll take some of our cookie crumbs and we're gonna cover our dinosaurs up with some sediment. And this is what happened a long, long time ago. We got our dinosaurs covered up with some sediment, and that helps preserve them so that their bones and things like that stay in the river. They don't go anywhere else. So we've got our cookie crumb sediment, and that's covering up our dinosaur bones. So they're preserved, they're staying in our ancient riverbed. And then, over time, what happens is that new layers of the earth are gonna come and cover up where our dinosaur bones are laying. So, we've got our ancient riverbed, we've got our dinosaur bones that are laying in the riverbed, we've got some sediment that's covered our bones, and that happens pretty fast so that our bones stay where they are. And now we've got a new time, and we're gonna cover up our riverbed with some new soil. And that's going to have a different color from our riverbed. Just like that. Alright, so we've got our new soil. This soil, my soil is vanilla pudding. It's going to lay on top, it's going to cement itself kind of on top of where our dinosaur is living. Alright, so over time we've got one layer of soil, but this is, remember, a really, really long process. So we'll have another layer of the earth. It's going to be a different color, and that's going to come on top of the other layer that we had. And as we get more and more soil built up over time, it's going to put more pressure on our dinosaur bones. It's going to put lots and lots of weight on our dinosaur bones. It's going to push them down, and it's actually going to start turning those bones into rock. It's going to start hardening them, and it's going to preserve them over time as we get more and more pressure.
All this pressure through compaction and cementation will almost glue these sedimentary layers together to make our sedimentary rock. Inside this rock, over time, the preserved dinosaur or animal bones will be completely replaced with minerals, creating our fossil.
If you're interested in seeing more of this really interesting type of rock here in Colorado, a neat hike that you can do is Dinosaur Ridge. It's outside of Golden, and that's a really neat hike. It's called Dinosaur Ridge because you can see lots of these really cool layers that fossilize dinosaurs over time, and you can see them right here in your Colorado backyard. Alright friends, thanks for joining me to make this yummy sediment experiment. If you'd like to draw your fossil layer that you just created, you can download the Yummy Sediment worksheet on the CMC's virtual learning page. And you can draw what you've just created and layer where your fossils are, where the ancient riverbed is, and then label what layers in your creation would have turned into metamorphic rock and what layers might still be sedimentary rock. I hope you enjoyed and have a good day. Thanks.